Okay, I started the tree stump project out by making a prototype of it, which I used a 6-inch green PVC pipe to cast a concrete core, 6 inches in diameter. Notice the 3/4 inch galvanized pipe sticking up at the top, 2 feet out of the green pipe. The pipe also sticks out 2 foot out the bottom of the green PVC pipe as well. You just can't see it due to the 2x4 supports, which hold up the white PVC cap attached to the green PVC cap, so I could pour this without losing all the concrete out the bottom. The galvanized pipe will allow me to make a jig for making the original tree stump prototype and to help me along in the molding process thereafter. After bracing the pipe against the large climbing rock, I was ready to pour the pipe full of concrete, and then I let it sit overnight and demolded it in the morning. Okay, in this clip, I've obviously removed the PVC from the casting, and here you see me adding a 1/2 inch layer of my fiber reinforced cement mixture with a layer of the woven reinforced mesh, because immediately after this coat, I will apply a texture mix to create the bark texture. Okay, so I've got my roller, I've got my release agent ready, and I'm gonna start coating this with about 3/4 of an inch of mud. Okay, in this clip, I've obviously got the mud on the upper half of the log. I'm now spraying down the mud mixture with a release agent, and I'll spray down the actual roller too, anticipating that I'm going to roll stamp this texture. Okay, so the release was put on and dried yesterday, and this is my first of 5 coats of the rubber to make the mold. So I'm just literally applying brush on 60 and 5 coats of it, and then when it dries, I'll start making the hard molds. Okay, so I've made a hard mold form so I can put the cement on. That's what gives us the formation. This gives us the texture the rubber does. But anyway, I'm just claying the void areas right now. But there's one underneath. There's 2 on each side. That makes 3 breaks that make the hard mold come off. I'm getting ready to mix mud here in about the next half hour. Should have them built today. Well, I only got this half and the other half, the bottom isn't done. I thought I could get it all worked in one day. I was hoping, but it was too cold. Even with the heat going, it's still not setting up. But it just took me this long today to form that and get it poured. But I'll be doing the other one tomorrow, and then letting it sit overnight, and then stripping it and being able to cast it. I got my base made, or starting to be made, for the actual setting down on the ground, and then I can pour it vertically, and it'll be good. Stick with me. Okay, well, I stripped off the top forms and I bolted 5 bolts in the flange to keep that when I turn it over. I don't want it opening up. And this thing's pretty heavy, and just wanted to make sure it was stuck together. Okay, first thing this morning, I got up and I drilled and bolted that so that it would hold together when I turned it. I've got it all stripped of the forms, and I've got the center one ready, oiled, and I'm starting to mud it, and it'll be done today, be casting tomorrow. Stick with me, sports fans. Well, that's a wrap this morning on this one. Just got to let it dry overnight, take it apart tomorrow, and start my castings made. And it's going to be well worth it because it'll be a perfect casting every time. Okay, so I got the hard molds off, and now I'm about to cut the rubber right down the center, and that's still going to come together in the mold, and there'll be a little parting line there you have to knock down when you take a casting out. But right now I'm getting ready to cut that because there's no other way to get this off and on. You can't get it off right now, and you can't get it off in the future when you make a casting, so it's got to be done. And you almost don't want to, but that's the way it works. Okay, so this morning I came in and I took the hard molds off, and I've cut the rubber now to be able to take it off. And you can see I got a lovely rubber mold of the tree, but it's a little heavy. Got some tree bark really good here. Getting ready to put the mold back together and do my first casting. Stick with me, I'll show you. Hey man, got the 3 hard molds off, gonna reassemble them, put the rubber inside, and get casting. Get this guy, I'm gonna make this jig go away, and I gotta make a new jig now to make this mold work for me, so stick with me. Okay, getting set up here. I've got the first half braced to where this is vertical, because I'm putting this piece right here on the table, and I'm trying to make a jig that holds the mold and allows me to de-mold it when I'm done, put it back together when I'm ready to cast again, so stick with me. Hey Mark, I successfully got it off the prototype today, and I've set it up in a jig table here, and right now I'm just about run out of time today, but I'm gonna cast it tomorrow. I had to figure a way to make this to where I could work it. I'm gonna cast a hollow casting in there by opening this up and pinning it with these things along here to where it's wide open. I'll cream and fiber mud it, let it set for about a half an hour, close it back up to itself. With the hard mold sitting the way it is and I dropping this top down, it squeezes the rubber from all the different angles, and it can't but stay perfectly closed. It's not right now because I haven't got it just right. But anyway, once I get it there, then I'm still going to be taking a stick with a paintbrush trying to add a little bit more. It's going to be a casting, and then